Hi everyone, and welcome to another one of Alan's angling adventures. We're back up the river again today, bank holiday Monday. Time wise it's about 20 to 10 and I am up the lock today. This is the upper lock. I was anticipating to fish on the lower lock, but there's carp fishermen down there, so all set up with their bivvies and that, so I can't get down there. And there's actually carp fishermen up here as well. But I've managed to find a spot that I can fish, but I must admit it's very clear, and that it's going to be, I think it's going to be hard going today. It's very clear, but we'll see how we get on anyway. I'm going to be float fishing to start off with. Bait wise, I've got sweet corn, I've got casters, and I've got red and white maggots, and I've got some pellets as well. So, and I've got a couple of slices of bread if I need them. So I'm well prepared. I'm here all day. As I say, it's about 20 to 10 now. Really look forward to it, but I say it's not going to be easy. A few lily pads out there, and you know, certain places I can cast to out there. If I'll give it a couple of hours on the float and see how it goes. If it's really hard going, I might change to a feeder. But we'll see. I probably will do some at some point during the session. I was also out last Friday as well with Mark, and we were going to fish the river, but once again Mark said it was too clear, too low to fish it, so we ended up fishing at Oxcop's Lakes, which is under the Henfield membership. Very nice lake. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Mark had about 12 carp that day on the feeder, casting tight to the island on a line clip, but I decided to fish the waggler because I hadn't fished float fish for quite a while now, and I really wanted to have a go on the float, so I wasn't anticipating anything too big on there. But while I'm setting up, just got to set up now, knock my ground bait up, get my rod set up. While I'm doing that, why don't you take a look at how we got on. Place looks like it's teeming with fish. Off the mark straight away. With a little roach. Second fish of the session, a bit bigger on the pellet. A roach. What I'm hoping for today is some tench, that's what I'm really hoping for. We saw some tench bubbles just along the other end of the lake early on this morning when we first got here. I'm going to persevere with the pellet, I think. I actually think pellet and corn are going to be the main line of attack today. Not very deep here, it's only a couple of feet up this end of the lake, but it goes to about 6 at on the bottom end. Well, there's plenty of small stuff about here at the moment, but there are bigger fish in here, and that's what I'm after. So we'll crack on and see how we get on. So I've had 3 at the moment, all roach. We've got 2 lakes here. There's another one at the other side there, which is more of a match lake. It looks very nice. With an island, just a straight run, with an island running through the centre of it. As soon as we put maggots on the hook. Bit of a break away from carp fishing over the last 2 sessions, which I really did enjoy. Having to keep my voice down a little bit because there's quite a few people here. Don't want to make too much of a noise if I can help it. Oh, what was that? Now next week I'll be back up the river again, probably Monday, for another session. Basically today it's just fishing for whatever comes along, really, see what you can catch. A bit better. I might have just had a nice little carp, about £3, 3 or 4 pound on the feeder. I'm still on 3 roach at the moment. Oh. Oh, nice roach. Yeah, biggest roach so far. Great stuff. It's quite pleasant when the sun comes up. When it goes in, it's still quite chilly. Quite a breeze blowing. Up to now, Mark's had 1 carp on the feeder, and I've had 4 roach. The last one was a bigger one. That was on sweet corn. Oh. And roach number 5. Really enjoying this. That was on pellet. Plenty of bites out there. Oh yes, this time. Cracking roach. Ooh. And what about that then? What a lovely roach that is. Best one so far. Great stuff. That's on the pellet. Well pleased with that. Ooh. And lovely. A little rudd. A rather muddy one, but so that's 6 roach and a rudd. Time wise it's 11:45 now. Mark's had 3 or 4 carp and a nice roach. And I've had about 6 roach. And another little roach. Not that big, mate, about like that. Well, I beat me bream PB last time, and now look at this. Just beat me perch PB, bang on £2. Cracking fish, look at that, look. Well worth waiting for. That's on the float. 1 piece of corn. Lovely stuff. Right, let's get her back. And roach number 10. So it's 10 roach and a perch of £2. And Mark's in again. Well, that was it really. I did enjoy it. I ended up with what, about 12 roach, a rudd and that nice perch of £2. Well pleased with that. I think I made a real bad error though. I was when I had that perch, I thought I just started to get some decent fish into my peg, and I changed over to the feeder. Well, that was the death knell. You know what I mean? That really was. I should have carried on with the float fishing, but never mind. I thoroughly enjoyed it, but it did reinforce my idea that fishing the river is what I like fishing the best. You know, as soon as we got there. As soon as we got our pegs, everyone turned up. Every Tom, Dick and Harry turned up. People fishing opposite you and all that. And it isn't really my cup of tea really. But you know, I did enjoy. I enjoyed the fishing there. You know, it's a lovely lake. It's got 2 islands, one at the top of the lake, one at the bottom of the lake. And I got to meet the old bailiff there, the legendary Bernie. Everyone seems to know about him. He lives on site in a outhouse or a shack. In the grounds there by the lake. He's a bit of a character. So yeah, it's nice to meet Mark again, who I fished with. He fished in the peg next to me. Well, I did enjoy it, but for me, this is what I love the most. This is what I get really excited about. I think we're going to struggle today, to be honest. And I say I'll give it I'll probably give it a couple of hours, a good couple of hours on the float. I'll put a bit of ground bait out there, not too much. I probably should have bought my dark ground bait that I've got for clear waters, but I haven't got it with me today. But we'll see how it goes anyway. I want to start off on probably a maggot or 2 and see how it goes, then cast a corn. We just, you know, flip about from bait to bait. I've got all my baits with me, so, and I'm here till I can stay here till whenever. I might stay here till about 5:30, 6 o'clock. It's probably about 10 now, and we'll see how it goes. I really do enjoy fishing this river though. Even if I don't catch much, I still enjoy it. It's brilliant. You never know what you're going to get. So I enjoyed my last 2 carp sessions, especially the last one where I had those 2 nice bream. Be nice if I could get something like that today, but I'm not so sure. I have heard reports up here that it isn't actually fishing that great, but so I wanted to fish the lower lock. I was going to be fishing there, and there's somebody set right up in the very spot that I wanted to fish with a bivvy and that. But never mind, there's always another time. So anyway, I'm going to have my cup of tea, and then we're going to get out there and we'll see how we get on today. I'll see you in a minute when I'm fishing. I've got another 2 carp anglers, about 100 yards down, and they're both clearing up. But we're going to stick here, I'm not going to move now. I'm not fishing yet. Have this cup of tea. Bit of a late start by my standards, but never mind. So it is clear though. It is clear. I haven't seen any sign of any fish, to be honest with you. Not even small stuff. I've fished a couple of times up here in the past on video, and I've struggled. I fished over the other side a little bit further down on a bend. That was the video where my river ambush rod snapped at the end. I only had a couple of fish that day, and then if you watch my videos, I fished over this side a little bit further down, and I can't remember how many fish I had now, but I had a lot of small stuff, and it was small as well, small roach, perch, rudd. I enjoyed it, but that's the only times I've fished up here, so this will be my 3rd time up here now. Right, without any further ado, let's get fishing. I think we'll kick off on a maggot. I always like to start off on them. I'm not so sure that that's going to be the main line of attack today. Let's see. I've got 6-pound main line and 5-pound hook length and a size 14 hook. I'll start off on a single red maggot, as I normally like to start off on just one maggot and just see, test the water. Sometimes it can take several hours before you actually get it right. A bit further than that. I'm probably going to have to stand up to get it out where I want it. That's it. So I do think it's going to be tough. But we'll see. I'm not after any species in particular, just anything really that comes along. Well, we're getting bites straight away, and we're in. Yay! Oh, great stuff. Oh, that's good. little roach to kick off the session. I'll tell you what, I think this is a day where I'm going to be well pleased that these fellas are about. Great stuff. That was on single red maggot. So I'm not gonna put loads of ground bait out there today. You may well find when the water's clear like this, after a while catching a few of them, it might go completely dead, but we'll see. Depth wise, probably looking at about, it's probably about 3.5 foot out there, 3.5 to 4 feet. We'll start off on these red maggots and we'll take it from there. So nice to be fishing in a bit of peace and quiet again of the river. It's just a slight drag from right to left, taking the float from right to left. There we go. There's definitely fish down there. I've only ever fished the lower lock once, and that was when I had my carp session. My second river carp session was down there. At least it's overcast today, it's cloudy. I hope it stays like this, but I expect after a while the sun will burn through the clouds. And certainly when you get up early in the mornings now, you can, that autumny feel to the morning. Just round the corner now, isn't it, really? It's not far away. There we go. I've got that float shotted so I can just see the tip of it. Not on there. Or is it? Yes, it is. Great stuff.
Betty, come on.
Oh, this is a bit bigger.
Betty, Lee, come on. Sorry, I have an inquisitive dog.
Oh, that's alright, mate, that's alright.
Come on.
Oh, a bit bigger. A bigger roach. Second one of the day.
Come on.
Great
Betty.
stuff. Oh, it's encouraging, this is.
Betty, come on.
My experience of this is probably about after an hour or so it'll go quiet, but we shall see. But that was a bigger one than the first one. Again on single red maggot. I'm a little bit surprised actually. I thought it might have been a struggle. Probably find as the session goes on that the fish will probably be further back. It's quite a keen northerly breeze picking up, which they did forecast today, but I'm sheltered here. It's a nice little spot actually. It does actually look a bit tenchy, to be honest with you, with the lily pads and that. And as I speak, some bubbles have just come up over there. Might be worth me trying to get out a bit further. Definitely look like tench bubbles, they did. This time. As I expected though, I'm having to cast out a fair way out over there to get the bites. You cast out just down here and you're not getting nothing. That's the trouble when it's clear like this. They're very sly bites as well. They're not snatching at it. Float's going down very subtly. I'm still on those two ropes. I've just changed to a bit of corn now. I need to get her out a bit further. That's better. I've had a bit more success on sweet corn recently. I went ages on the river without even getting a bite on it. But what I decided to do, I decided to buy these bags of frozen sweet corn from Tesco. And for some reason I've been getting a lot more bites and fish on it. So, well, that's just a coincidence, I don't know. But so that perch I caught at Oxcops, that was on corn. The last those two bream I caught on the river last time, that was on corn. And yet prior to that I'd gone bloody ages without catching, even getting a bite on it. Combine harvester in the background. Really shy bites they are. You can just about make them out. There we go again. No. Very misleading. Still persevering on the single red maggot because that's what I'm getting the bites on. I did try a white maggot earlier. Get nothing on that at all. fishing on the bottom as well. So they're not snatching at it at all. It's very, very sly bites. It's not easy to pick out when to strike. Caught us some big carp in here and all on this stretch. Back to work Thursday. Just starting to get that sinking feeling now, as you know it's approaching. Still got two more days to go, and I suppose it's only Thursday and Friday, then it's the weekend again. Well, it's 10 past 11 now, still only those 2 roach I caught at the start of the session. Don't seem to be getting any bites now. I've turned the casting now. What I'm going to do, I'm going to give it till 12 o'clock on the float. If there's nothing else on the float, when it gets to 12 o'clock I'm going to change to a feeder. I thought it would be tough, so it is clear. And there's a drag on the line as well, where the wind's coming straight down. It's a job to keep the line, stop the line from towing over to the left hand side all the time. I think if I do change to the feeder, it'll be the ground bait feeder rather than the maggot feeder today. I've got my feeder rod with me all set up. Conditions are pretty good. You know, it's that sun hasn't come out, which is good. So I am hopeful we can, you know, catch a few. I don't think we'll catch many, but so I don't really think it's going to be a day or this is a peg for big baits. I've got a couple of slices of bread with me which could well be very handy. Well, I've now changed to a pellet, soft pellet now on the float. I'm trying all options before I go to the feeder. I've got my feeder rod all set up and ready to go. A couple of little fish jumping out over there, so there are fish in the peg. Here comes the horses. Quite often get them up there. Let's see what the time is. I think this is going to be a bit tough today. Nearly 11:30. Those bites I had at the beginning of the session, don't seem to be getting them now. I'm not overly confident that the ground bait feeder will work, but certainly there's no harm in giving it a go. Right, I'm going to give it one more cast on a single red maggot, and then we're going to change over to the feeder. As I say, there is a tow out there with this northerly wind blowing from right to left. It's dragging the line across out away from the float, and it's very awkward to keep the float under control. Oh, we're in. I'm not complaining, certainly not complaining. This is the sort of size of the fish I caught last time when I fished on this stretch. Mr. Roach, roach number 3. So I will persevere a little bit longer. So it seems to be just red maggots and a single red maggot at that. Let's catching anything, getting any response. There we go. That looked a better bite on the float. There's still definitely fish down there, no doubt about that. But they're not queuing up to take the bait today. As I expected, when you see it clear like this, you know it's not going to be easy. I don't let it put me off, you know what I mean? You know, I know it's going to be hard when the water's clear like this, but I still enjoy it. I still enjoy coming up there, having a go, even though I know it's not going to be easy. I'll get more satisfaction catching 10-15 fish in conditions like this on a river than I do on a lake when they're queuing up, you know what I mean, when it's so easy. You can almost, you know, some of these lakes you can almost guarantee you'll catch a fish on a bare hook. It's not like that on the river. You've got to work a bit more for your fish. It gives you a bit more satisfaction when you catch one. I think what we'll do, we'll have one more cast on the float with a single red, and then we're going to turn to the feeder. I can always turn back to the float later in the session if I think I need to, if I'm not getting anything any response on the feeder at all. Right, what we're going to do, I'm going to turn to the feeder. It's 11:45 and there's not really a lot going on the float, so what I've done, I've just put a very, very tiny ground bait feeder on. A very tiny ground bait feeder. We'll see how we go from here. We'll go with a couple of red maggots on this. Not there, Alan. Let's try it there and see how we get on. Got caster on the hook now. Nothing happening at the moment. I'm getting one or two nice bites now on the feeder. There's a precise spot where I'm getting the bites. If you don't get it in the exact spot, you're not getting any response. She's hard though. Not easy this today. Well, I've been waiting for ages for this. A little perch. At last I got something. Right. Oh my god, it's hard going. It really is hard going. But we press on regardless. I'm definitely getting a few bites out there now. There's definitely fish out there. Getting it in a good spot now. don't know whether changing to a maggot feeder is going to make any difference at all. I don't know. Let's check the time. ~1. Plenty of time, stacks of time. It's just, you know, knowing what to do really. I mean, part of me wanted to go back to where I had those two bream north of Betley Bridge, but I do like. I don't want to keep going back to the same spot every time. I want to mix it up a bit. And I do know I have been told by one or two anglers that it's not fishing great up here. Maybe I should have took their warning about it, but. Hey. Oh, blimey. Right, fish number 5. Little rudd. So it's 3 roach, a perch and a rudd. Yeah, and roach number 4. Nothing of any size at all. Right, let's try a couple of casters on there, or a caster and a red maggot. Let's try that. Just anything to see if we can pick up something half decent. Got it more or less right in the lily pads there now. Yes, a right struggle this. I've had several bites, taps and all that sort of thing on here, but it's all just been roach and small roach and stuff. Oh, time wise it's 2:30. Still on the 6 fish. Nothing of any real size at all. I lost something a bit half decent about 10 minutes ago. Again, like before, as I was reeling in, it suddenly latched onto it. I just caught sight of it in the water. It looked to me like it was either a decent roach or rudd. I don't know, it's something like, it was about that size. But I lost it as I was reeling it in. It's gone straight for the lily pads. So what I've done now, I've changed tactics very slightly. I'm now fishing straight through now on a size 16 hook. Another angler's just turned up. He's fishing just up the other end there somewhere. feeling that maybe I've missed a trick here today. I don't know. Well, I'm back on the float again now. I've got the feeder rod out, it's just down the side there in the margin. See if we can pick up something in these last, well, couple of hours now. I think what I'll do in a minute, I'll give it another 10 minutes. I'm going to change to the maggot feeder for the last hour or two, couple of hours of the session. Tap there on the feeder rod. Not on there. Oh dear. Yeah, it's one of them days, isn't it? Right, okay. Show's just worth keeping it down there. So that's something down there. Oh, right, fish number 7, and it's a rudd. Fish number 7, no size, but it's a rudd. That's on the float. Right, in you go. But it's really a scratching around session, this, without any doubt. A right scratching around session. It's not like there isn't any fish there. There are fish there because I've had quite a few bites. It's probably where the water's so clear, I suppose. I mean, the weather's quite, it's quite good. It's overcast. It's can't really say it's the weather. If we get it in, fish number 8. Another really tiny one. Fish number 8. And fish number 9, a roach. Just getting a bite on the feeder rod now. What we got here? Well, we've got the biggest roach of the day. Nothing massive, but nothing massive, but I'll take it. Certainly the biggest one of the day. And fish number 10. That's the best fish of the day, that of the session, that. And that's on the feeder in the margins. So we'll persevere down there. Great stuff. Right, let's get her back. Oh, what's that? It's 10 fish now. I think we've had something like 8 roach, a rudd and a perch. Something like that anyway. Put her out in the margins again, because I'm certainly getting some activity down there. Something decent really jumped out in the middle of those lily pads to my right hand side just now as well. Don't know what it was, but right, so what have we got? 10 fish at the moment. Starting to pick 1 or 2 up now. Don't normally like fishing like this though, having one rod out like this and float fishing as well. I can't concentrate on both rods at the same time. There we go. Don't really need to use the landing net for these. Fish number 11. Now we're starting to pick a few up now. It's taken a blooming long time to, that was on caster, by the way. Single caster. It's, maybe that's the way to go, just to keep persevering now on the float and just leave that one out there. Because once it's been out there for 5 or 10 minutes, I do seem to get bites on it. If you're wondering why I'm not really putting any bait out there now, there's enough bait out there, probably too much. I'm certainly getting bites out there now though. Not sure when my next session's going to be. It'll definitely be on a Sunday. Back to work Thursday, so the only days I can fish are Sundays. There'll probably be a couple of weeks' time. I should certainly be going after chub this winter anyway, without any doubt, and in the autumn. Really look forward to that. See if I can beat my river chub PB, or any chub PB, which is £3 on the dot. Right, the last hour and a half, let's swap over to the maggot feeder. One way of using all these maggots up, I suppose. Let's see how we get on this. Just put it down in the margin. As good a place as any. Just a few little tut knocks now on the maggot feeder. There we go. Oh. You led me into a false sense of excitement there. Fish number 13, and this is the second or third rud of the session. Oh. Like bars of soap. It's just started slowly clearing up. Let's just check the time. I'm probably going to go clear up properly at 5. It's nearly 25 past 4. So probably about another half an hour. And I'm going to call it a day. Bit disappointing really, but I know at least I haven't blanked, but I never seem to have a lot of, never seem to catch much up here. I've fished up there, I think it's the third time. I've never had anything, you know, of any size. So I do want to give it a go on the lower lock. No conditions, I mean there's no sun at all. It's quite dark actually. You'd think this was, you know, really good conditions for fishing. Well, probably about another 5 minutes and that's my lot then. So it's a lovely little stretcher. It's a nice spot, but just hasn't happened today at all. Probably because the water's so clear. I don't know. Maybe the carp fishermen have been, because they've been down a bit further, you know, with all the bait they put in. Maybe the fish are full, you know, they're just not hungry, I don't know. Strange really, you have sort of little spells for about half hour or so when you're starting to get some bites and 1 or 2 fish, and then it goes absolutely dead. Then it might come back again. Yeah, it's strange really. So I'm just fishing just down there in the margin. I've just started packing up now. Last cast and I've got a bite. Whether it's on there or not, I don't know. Isn't it marvellous? Got rid of all my bait now as well. No, it's not on there. Yes it is. Nothing much. But fish number 14. And then that is, I'm going to finish that off today. Fish number 14, I think it's something like roach number 11. And that's how it's been for most of the all the session really. Anyway, at least I haven't blanked. So with that, I'm going to call it a day. It's about 10 to 5, 5 to 5 now. I'm going to pack right up and make my way home. So a summary of the day's session. I've ended up with about 14 fish, 12 roach, a rudd, no, 11 roach, 2 rudd and a perch. Most of them coming on the ground bait feeder and a few on the float. It's been hard going, very scratchy, but yeah, that's it. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll probably be out in a couple of weeks time on the next one. Enjoy your own angling, definitely do that, enjoy your own angling, and I'll see you again on the next one. Bye for now.